For all my newbies, whether you're in truck driving school, whether you're thinking about going to truck driving school, whether you just got your truck and you're just about to get started, this is a refresher or a lesson on your 4 different clocks and also your 6 different duty statuses. For clocks, you have your 8-hour clock, which is your break clock. It's pretty much saying that you cannot drive more than 8 hours without stopping to take a 30-minute break. You have your 11-hour clock, aka your drive clock. That is pretty much saying you have 11 hours to drive within a 24-hour period. So you can only drive for 11 hours a day. If someone is telling you different, no. You can only drive for 11 hours a day. And to be honest, I wouldn't even want to drive over 11 hours in a day, me personally. But yeah, that's your 11-hour clock is your drive clock. So going back, you have your 8-hour clock, which is your break clock. You can't drive more than 8 hours without taking a 30-minute break. Once you take your 30-minute break, you can continue on and finish out your 11-hour clock, which is your drive clock. Next, you have your total shift clock, which is your 14-hour clock. That's pretty much saying within 14 hours, you can drive 11 of those hours, but you have 14 hours that you can be on duty for that day. And last but not least, you have your 70-hour clock. Your 70-hour clock is pretty much your clock for the week. So you have 70 hours that you can, be on duty, you can drive, do whatever for the week pretty much. And if you run out of those hours, you have to take a reset. And it takes 34 hours in order to reset your 70 clock. So a lot of people don't run out of their 70. So if you don't run out of on your 70 clock, you can continue on and you can use recap hours to continue on and roll throughout your week. But if you run out of your 70-hour clock, you have to stop and take a 34-hour break before that resets. Okay, moving along, you have 6 duty statuses that you can use. You have on duty, you have off duty, you have yard move, you have personal conveyance, you have sleeper berth, and you have your driving status. Off duty is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty much saying I'm off work, I'm not doing anything work related, I'm off duty, I'm out of it. Sleeper berth means you're actually in the sleeper, you're actually in the back part of the truck, you're in the sleeper area. You can't be sitting up front for a very long time and be in a sleeper berth. So if you're in sleeper berth, you need to actually be in the sleeper berth. The next one is your on duty status. On duty, you could be fueling, you could be scaling, you could be at a shipper receiver, going in to check in or doing whatever. Whatever, you're on duty. Also, very important, when you get pulled over by DOT, or if you get pulled over by DOT, you also need to be on duty status. If you broke down side the road, you need to be on duty status. Next, you have yard move. Yard move is when you're at a shipper and a receiver, or a receiver, you're actually on the yard, you're in a gated yard, and you moving around the facility, whether it be dropping a trailer, picking up a trailer, driving to the shipping and receiving area before you can go in and check in. So yard move is pretty much yard move. You're on a yard and you're moving. One more thing with yard move, you cannot go over, I want to say it's 14 miles per hour or it may be 15, I'm not sure, but it's somewhere in there. I know you can't be driving full speed and be on yard move. So, but obviously if you're on a yard, you're not really driving that fast anyway. So next, you have your driving duty status. That's self-explanatory. If you're traveling more than 5 miles per hour, it's going to kick on your driving duty status. So yeah, if you're driving. Last but not least, you have personal conveyance. You have to be very careful with personal conveyance because every company is different when it comes to the personal conveyance. What I'm used to is, you have 1 hour or either 50 miles to use with personal conveyance, and that could be, you can't be up under a load. If you're under a load, you cannot use personal conveyance. At least that's what I was taught. But yeah, you have an hour for personal conveyance. And wherever you're going, let's say for instance, you're not under a load, you're trying to go do laundry at a laundromat and you want to bobtail there, you can use your personal conveyance and stop it, go off duty once you get there, and then traveling back to where you started, you use your personal conveyance to get back. And it can be the same thing to traveling to go get a shower or traveling to go do get groceries or whatever. So yeah, just be careful with your personal conveyance and talk with your company to see what their policy is when it